Hello, YouTube. My name is Marcella, and I am finally doing an update on what's going on as far as my surgery. Um, I was actually 305 pounds before I got started, and I had my surgery on January the 5th. And as I reported in the other two videos, the only thing problem that I had like immediately after surgery was gas. And I heard a couple of people talking about the gas. The gas is no joke. It was so painful. It was worse than childbirth. I tried walking it off. It didn't work. Um, and basically, what did they have to do? They gave me some pain medicine. That's when they started the pain medicine. The pain medicine called Dilaudid. Basically, that medicine put me out. I was light as a rock, and I was high as a kite on that medicine. That medicine, it was so good, it worked instantly. Those of you who had Dilaudid before, they put it in the IV, and it knocks you out. And I was so glad because I couldn't sleep, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit. I didn't want nobody talking to me. The phone was ringing. People was trying to figure out how I was doing. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I was in so much pain. But yeah, that medicine helped me out while I was in the hospital. Like I said, I started at 305 pounds. Now, actually, this was interesting, and I also heard somebody else say something about that before. On the day of surgery, after my liquid diet, I was down to 291.5. Okay, so I lost some weight, pre-surgery. But when I left the hospital, I was 300 pounds because of the fluid. And they were saying, don't freak out. They kept me on IVs and they kept the fluid going. But that's what happens sometimes. They say sometimes the people retain the fluid, but that's okay and that's normal. I weighed myself actually on yesterday, and now I am down to 285 pounds. Okay, that's quite an accomplishment, and I'm just glad that the weight is starting to come off. I talked about the gas. The only problems that I had after I was discharged from the hospital, I had excruciating headaches. I told my husband if it wasn't for the headaches, everything else would be fine because I didn't have the issues with gas anymore. The gas, to my surprise, started, moving. I was able to belch a little bit, but the headaches was so bad. Now I told them in the hospital before I left that I was having minor headaches here and there. They said some of them said that it was probably from the medication, from the Dilaudid, and it'll pretty much go through my system. Okay, so we all kind of brushed it off one night. Okay, day number 2. After discharge, the headache was so bad. My husband went and got his lazy boy chair and tried to put it in our bedroom. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't sit. I tried putting pressure on my head. Sometimes that helped relieve it for a few seconds. But then I took the extra. They said I could take extra strength Tylenol. I took extra strength Tylenol, and it did not work at all. That's the first time I ever took anything that did not work for me because I never, I hate to take medicine. I'm that type. But yes, it did not work. And then the next day, the headache was even worse. So my husband rushed me to the emergency room. It was that bad. I had never gone to the hospital for a headache or, something like that. I hate going to the hospital. He rushed me to the emergency room, and the doctor said the same thing. This got to be because of the Dilaudid. Your body is having a reaction because of that Dilaudid. So he said, I don't even want you taking Tylenol. And at that point, I didn't see no point in taking the Tylenol because it wasn't doing anything for me. Okay. So what he did was, they called it some type of cocktail. I forgot what it was, but it had Benadryl and it gave me some medication in my IV. They had rushed me to the back immediately. They had to bring a wheelchair out to the car. I couldn't even walk. They put it in the IV. I felt it instantly. I had stopped taking the Tylenol, and I did stop taking it. They sent me home with Dilaudid, actually. I never took that Dilaudid because I figure if this was the pain meds that was causing the headache, I want this stuff out of my system as soon as possible. And as far as the surgery went, my wounds and everything, I didn't need to take the medication for that. Okay. Um, um, Basically, okay, so went to the emergency room. They gave me the IV. They said the only thing I need to do, they were well pleased because I was able to get my fluids in. So it wasn't that I was dehydrated or anything else. I was getting fluids in. I'm getting fluids in like crazy. I am impressed with that. I will say it's been one night since I've been home. I was only able to get like 30 ounces in. A lot of people say that they have a hard time getting fluids in, but I don't have a hard time getting fluids. Um, okay, so the next day, actually, I said, okay, I wonder if this headache is going to come back because I haven't had it Dilaudid. This is probably like day number 3 after discharge, day number 3 or 4. I felt a little pressure, and it's always like on the side of my head, just kind of like on the side of my head. I felt a little pressure, but it wasn't a lot. And I said, okay, Lord, please don't let this thing come. Please take away the headache. And it'll come every now and then. And that's exactly how the headache would come, except it was like somebody was squeezing my head with a crowbar and just jumping on it. But it didn't come like that. I said, okay, Lord, this stuff is working through my system. It's working through my system. The very next day, I didn't have a headache. So that was awesome. And I thank God for that. I didn't have a headache the very next day, so this stuff is finally getting through my system. Um, let's see. I started doing a Premier. That what I started was with this protein. When I went to one of my support groups, the Premier protein. Some people don't like it, but I like it. It does have 160 calories in it. It has 1 gram of sugar though, in it, and I think what is it? As far as fat. It's only like 1 gram of saturated fat. Well, the total fat is 3 grams in it. So, that's what we were supposed to stay at, your 3 and 3 rule. That actually works for me. And it was going through fine. So what I did was I started taking it in. I use that as my breakfast now. If I can get my protein in, which also counts as your fluid ounces that you're required to have on a daily basis, at least I'm done with my protein and I got that in and I don't have no problems because I'm not getting enough protein. Okay. I bought that one and vanilla. That's the only flavors that I seen that in. I looked at Atkins. I used to buy Atkins, when I used to try all these different diets. They do have all different types of flavor of protein, but it's only like 15 grams of protein per, shake. And I'm like, well, this one has 30 in it. And maybe I'll probably buy some Atkins one day, but the protein shakes, those are very expensive. I'm getting around okay, and basically I get winded, just like some people say they get a little winded, when they start walking around. Basically, I started walking my son to the bus stop every morning just to get a little walking in. That's probably about 15 minutes by the time I get there and then walk back home. Walk my son to the bus stop, and I went to the gym for the first time yesterday. Now, it's so funny because, everybody in their New Year's resolution, the gym was packed. It was jam packed. People were in every room, the circuit room, the weights everywhere. I had to wait for a treadmill, and, that's the only thing that we can do at this point. Did I tell you, okay, I had my surgery on January the 5th, so that'll make me like 1 week post-op as a Monday that just passed. Okay, so actually this Monday coming up, I will be 2 weeks post-op. Time is flying, y'all. But yeah, I went to the gym for the first time yesterday. My husband took me. He stayed there. He didn't work out. And he sat down and he watched me just to make sure that I was okay. Bless his heart. My husband has been taking good care of me, thank God. Since all this happened, just making sure I there every second, every moment. He couldn't even barely sleep, just wanted to make sure that I was okay. Cooking, keeping the kids, the house, and a lot of stuff that he do anyway, but it was just extra because he had to make sure that I was good. So I love him for that. But yeah, so I went to the gym. I did my few minutes on the treadmill, and I took my time. I walked slow, and everybody knows that I used to take my incline up to like 15 because that you get the best workout with the incline, and you burn more calories. Well, of course, you got to use common sense. They told me, no crazy inclines or anything like that. So yesterday I just did like a 2 incline, and that's barely nothing, basically. So, and just walking, took my time, walk slow. Did that yesterday, and I think me and my husband, we might try to go back tonight. They want you to do it every day, but I'm gonna see how my body feels. I don't want to rush. They say, of course, don't rush it. Push yourself too hard, and I'm not gonna do that. So I was impressed, and I was pleased with that I was able to do that. I don't know how long this video need to be. I'm at like 10 minutes now. But anyway, I wanted to talk about like the other protein. The other protein that's you know what? I'm gonna cut this sucker off. Y'all, I'm gonna start another video because I heard some people complaining about the videos being too long and was not able to upload them and had to start over. I will do a part 2. All right.